Do we even say how we are?
No, I don't think so.
What age are you?
I'm not actually sure. I think I'm 33.
Are you? Mum said to me the other day, it was Mark's birthday. She asked me what age he was, and I haven't a clue.
I'm not sure. I think I'm 30. Yeah, I must be 33, 34. I get confused when I get past 32.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to our first episode of our new Golf Bros podcast. We really hope you enjoy listening. Yeah, first time doing this, so please bear with both of us. We are just going to really give you a bit of an intro into who we are, what we do, I guess what you can expect from the podcast going forward, a bit about our background, and hopefully not bore you too much with that. But basically, we are two brothers. My name is Phil Leatham, golf professional, PGA golf professional, and I got my brother David here.
Yeah, how you doing? David Leatham here as well, PGA professional.
Yeah, so essentially what our aim to do is to put some good content out there for you guys. It is free. You can listen to it. As Dave said, I think guests will probably be the big thing we try to get a lot of on, because that's obviously something that's going to interest people. We want to hear backgrounds from people of all walks of life, from whether they play professionally or they're coaches, if they're sports psychologists, or just anybody who can add a little bit of value to the podcast. We hope to get them on. And yeah, Q&As, we'll probably try and do loads of those, because I'm sure people have the stupidest questions for us all the time. So it'd be good crack to do some Q&As along with different things. Like if competitions are on, the Masters is on, we'll chat about what happened over the weekend and stuff. And we'll try to feed this. We are actually recording this live, I think anyway, on a camera as well. So the idea is to then upload this to YouTube. So if you do, I have no idea why you'd want to, but if you do actually want to watch us talking as well, you'll be able to do that on YouTube. So yeah, I think that kind of covers roughly what we're going to be doing, Dave.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's it, yeah. Just a bit of an intro, what it's going to be like.
And as I say, just bear with us, because we are going to ramble and talk a bit of rubbish at times, because it's actually more nerve-wracking than we thought. But definitely our ethos with this is just to bring you guys some free content, have a little bit of fun with it, and just try to help as many people as we can. So I guess the way to start is to figure out, let you guys see who we are. So I'll have a bit of a chat with Dave. I'm going to ask him a few questions, get a bit of feedback on his background, his experience. So you ready, Dave?
Yep.
Okay. So give us a bit of an idea into your journey to turning professional. How long have you been professional for now?
Teaching professional about 8 years. Played for 2 to 3 years on some mini tours, and a little glimpse of a challenge tour event at one stage. But
Is that the one I caddied for?
that's the one you carried, which we didn't make the weekend.
No, we realised quite how good those guys are, and how we're not.
And I think that was kind of the realization of, right, I'll try this coaching thing.
Yeah.
Because I always kind of had a passion from playing, big into the golf swing, big into how things worked and why things happened, and searched for different, it could be psychology, fitness, course management, everything. So it was kind of just going through all those, and I kind of always had that love to, then I could bring those to other people, and that's why I coach now. And I play a little bit, but not very much.
So we'll talk to us about how you, obviously, those of you who don't know, Dave went to university in America to play golf, got a scholarship.
Yeah.
So talk to us how that came about and what that was like.
Well, so I kind of started playing golf from an early age, and went through all the junior stuff here, the Ulster coaching, the Irish coaching, played all the boys and the youths, things like that. Represented Ulster, Ireland, went through all those things. And then it was actually through Johnny Caldwell, who now is on tour.
Name
drop for a guest there. But basically, I'd approached him and just asked, because I knew he was over in South Alabama, and whenever I spoke to him, and he put a good word in for the coach, and it just happened in 2007. I had a really good season, so he came over, watched me at the north of Ireland in Portrush, and from there he sort of offered me a scholarship to go over and play D1 golf at a really, really good school. Also, Gareth Maybe went there too. So there's another one.
Clanger. Pick that up, Dave.
I'll be on there. You expect messages. I'll be getting a message for guests. But basically, yeah. So went through that. Redshirted my first year. So basically.
So what does redshirted mean?
So basically, I took out the first year to work on my game essentially and get ready. Style of golf very different over there from what I was used to. You know, I was used to playing links events and wind and rain and really sort of low flat ball flight and low spinny check pitch shots and things, which really probably didn't fly over there as well. So I just had to try and get some changes in my swing to try and get some height under the ball and be able to play those big golf courses. And so I took a year to do that, get my strength up, to get my distance up. And
oh yes, I can remember that. Dave went away when 8 stone, came back 14 stone of solid muscle, and was hitting the ball about 100 yards further when he left. Not always straight, but it was good.
No, it could go anywhere. But at the same time now, I probably weigh the same, but I don't have any muscle left, so it's kind of life catches up.
Like that.
So I was kind of going through those things. Then after my first red shirt year, I was able to then start competing. So, you know, what would happen was you'd have 10 guys in the team, and we'd all compete each week to try and earn a spot on the team. So you had qualifying, and we were lucky. We were in Alabama, great golf courses, and that's where we got to qualify around every day. So it was really, really good, and every day was just geared towards getting better at golf. And obviously on top of that, you had your study, everything you had to do to keep up. If you didn't have good grades, you couldn't go to the tournament. So,
and of course, spring break.
Spring break was good,
Yeah, well,
yes.
I think that's another episode.
Came once a year and it was good. And
so basically, when that ended and you got a degree and you came back. So what was the story then when you came back over here?
Well, I came back every summer, and I would compete a little bit here. And then once I'd graduated, I decided to stay in America for 2 years back and forward, and played some of the mini tours. So I'd be, Florida, it could be Georgia, Texas. You're just driving around these tournaments. So, that sounds brilliant, but you're jumping in a car for 9 hours to drive to a tournament.
Although I remember your car.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
wouldn't want to be on that for 9 minutes.
No, it wasn't the best, but it got me there. But the thing was, it was like such a high level out there, so it was really, really good to play with these guys. And I seen it through college how good the level was, and then you go on to the mini tours, and again, it was incredible. I think I won one tournament that kind of hit home was first round. It was in Florida. I had 67 first round, and I think it was joint leader. Went out in the last group, shot level par, and I think I dropped to like 28th in the event. So I was like, my goodness, you gotta be shooting these scores to get yourself down there.
That's tough. That's tough conditions. So you come back here, you play a bit. Like a lot of us, you realise that's quite difficult.
Yep.
It takes a lot of time, money, effort.
Yeah.
And bills start piling up, so you got to pay them. So your next step, maybe when you're playing, sort of dwindles away.
Yeah.
What are we at?
Well, I sort of always sit in it's probably not the best thing to have in your mind, but the best, I always thought at the back of my mind that if it didn't work where I was playing and it didn't make it, say, to a level where I could sustain, I would go to coaching. I would do the PGA. And that's what happened then. So I enrolled for that. I did my tuition under Damien Mooney. He's now down in Loch Earn, I think, coaching and playing. So I did my tuition under him and just worked in the retail environment rather, than a club, and got into custom fitting and things. But then, I really just had that passion for coaching. So I really just started trying to bring all this stuff that I had kind of learned in my own game and trying to figure things out to give it to other people.
Yeah, and that kind of brings you up to more or less where you are now. You just kind of, a bit like myself, full-time coaching really.
Yeah.
And trying to help others, and it's fun.
It is good, yeah. I mean, it is brilliant just seeing, somebody explaining something to someone and maybe they hadn't thought about, just seeing their ball flight change, seeing their handicap come down. it's quite rewarding, and it's good fun too, because you always get a good laugh, or it's nice to meet people all the time.
Okay, so obviously for your career, like that takes us up to kind of where you are now, what you've
Yeah.
been doing. But I'll ask you, so through that whole journey, can you think of any, like a couple of people, two, three people who were probably the most influential in that journey, who helped you along the way?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, lots of people. I was probably guilty of always searching for the answer, so I did go to different coaches to try and learn different things that would work for me. So there was the likes of like yourself, Phil, would have helped me along the way. I had I'd Radar at Royal Belfast, I had Stephen Hamill at Lisburn help me, and then when I went away to America, then I had coach Ben Hannon he was the college coach, so he really helped me with technique and just all things life in general as well. So those guys were big influence on my golf.
Notice you didn't mention any of your parents there. That's great, Dave.
I was actually thinking about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
and
probably
mum and
should.
dad, of course.
We edit that out. So if somebody was sitting listening to this and they think, that sounds pretty cool, that sounds like a nice career, good fun, what advice would you give to anybody sort of young, coming up, decent golfer, or anybody even who just wants to get into coaching, what advice would you give to them?
Well, I would say, I mean, obviously everybody knows this, this hard work. It's something that, you hear a lot in the golf industry. It's, you got to work hard to get to where you want to be. And if you want to turn pro and be on tour, I think you've got to work hard, but you got to work hard at the right things. And,
Yeah.
I don't think it's where I got sort of caught up a little bit was getting the video out, looking at my golf swing and thinking, oh, if I get it to this position, like Tiger does, and, I'll play better golf. And I think get a good coach who is not just going to teach swing, is going to teach you all kind of walks of the game,
Yeah.
and teach you how to score, course management, how to
think that's
change your
the
ball
most
flight.
Most important, isn't it? It's everybody has now got a video recorder and an iPhone and all sorts of things that they can go to the range and set up and get their mates to video them. Most of them from the wrong position anyway, but they're so worried about getting the club in this position and that position, and it's really not the be all and end all. Of course, you got to get it as close as you can, but there's a lot of guys on TV who are just absolutely expert at getting the golf ball into the hole and around the golf course in the least amount of shots, and they're not too worried about where the club looks and how is the club open or shut, and they just know what they do and they do it very well.
Yeah, because you could take I could give somebody a perfectly looking golf swing if they're willing to work on all those different positions and things, but at the end of the day, so that's you still gotta have the skill to put that into practice. You know what I mean? If you put me in a Ferrari and you put Lewis Hamilton in it, he's got more skill than I do, but we both have the same machine.
Yeah.
And so having those types of things and learning those, I think for any junior or something coming up and is something like that, and a good coach to help you along with that.
We all know people that you play golf with that you'll have a guy who swings it unbelievable and you just think he plays off 28 and you're constantly going, how do you play off that with that swing?
That's what I was like.
Equally you have guys who swing it like it's horrific looking. It hurts your eyes when you see it, and they knock it around in 72, 73, and it just bamboozles people how they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like there's a lot of people out there would rather have a beautiful golf swing and not hit the ball that great than hit the ball amazing but have this horrific looking golf swing. And
Exactly.
I know what I'd rather have. But okay, so then what is in the job you do, what is the most common myth that people think about your job and our job that absolutely does your head in?
That's a good one. So what would I say? Well, I think the biggest one is that you work in the golf industry, teach golf, that you get to play loads of golf, which is not the case.
Never.
You get busy, you get caught up.
How many rounds of golf have you played in the last 2 years?
Oh, jeepers, I probably played... I had a Portugal trip to May, not last May, the May before. This one was cancelled because of the virus, but that was there. I think I played one round at Spa since then, so you're talking... maybe 3 rounds in
See, that's the
in
thing
2 years.
people don't realise. You have all this ability to go and play golf and you don't have the time to do it. And sometimes I think you get a wee bit, you kind of lose the love for playing when you're involved in it too much. It's a bit annoying. it's difficult to get up and go to want to go and play. And people think it's just be playing. If I was a golfer, I'd be playing every single day. You don't. Life gets in the way, and you can't physically get out and play all the time. But we do hope to rectify that.
Yeah, that's it.
We both don't play enough. I think you played 2 rounds. That's probably 1.5 more than me. So we both are probably at that stage when we know we want to get out and play more, just to see if we could break 85. To be honest. Okay, so that's definitely a myth that people think we just play golf all the time.
Yeah, not the case.
So, okay, last question. There's a young Dave sitting, and he is looking to do the same sort of thing that you just did. So if you go back and give him one bit of advice, what would you give him?
Okay, right. So going back, I would say, probably just like we mentioned there before, I would say, right, Dave, don't get too caught up in golf swing. Still, I probably lost that feeling of being able to get the ball around the golf course because I was so focused on golf swing. So I would have said to myself, yes, obviously that has its place and it needs worked on, but don't fixate on it. I mean, I would hit hundreds and hundreds of balls a day to try and ingrain a movement, and I was so busy doing that I forgot that golf's a game that's to be played.
You become like a warrior, like just beating balls on the range all day, and
which I could do all day. And you know what? Part of me actually just enjoyed that. It can be quite fun to do, but then you take it to the golf course and you've got a pin tucked behind a bunker from 200 yards, and
water.
You've got water. You got to maybe hit a fade into it, and you didn't know those things. So, probably a little bit of that. Enjoy it. I think as well. Just really keep the love for it. And yeah, I would say those things. Personally, just for me, I would have learned more about the ball flight and what the club does to create different ball flights instead of so much of the positional stuff for me. I think that probably would have helped. And
I think that's a big thing for a lot of young guys playing now who are really good players. I mean, there's a lot of elite young golfers, and not to get bogged down with mechanics too much. Mm-hmm. Most of them swing it great anyway.
That's it, yeah.
But it is, the guys who are winning the tournaments and winning the events, and even the guys on TV, they're the ones in control of the ball flight, and that's massive. If you haven't got control of your ball flight, doesn't matter how you're swinging it. You can't get the ball around the course and get in the hole and a good number. It's so important to, yes, a little bit of mechanics you do need, but you gotta learn to get the golf ball in the hole, and that's so important. Okay, Dave, excellent. Well, basically, that's kind of your intro. So that's Dave in a nutshell. Would you want to ask me some questions and see
so
what the story is?
Pretty much similar to the questions that you had asked me. So what's your...
Get your own questions.
Well, I've changed them up a wee bit. But what about... So, yeah, basically just like your journey to become a professional. So what brought you to this?
Okay. Basically, I turned pro... God, almost 20 years ago, a long time ago. But in the lead up to that, I was just school, didn't really like it, knocking about, left school in 5th year, went to tech / didn't go to tech.
You spent more time up at Nanny's having lunch than you were in tech.
Bust up the Nanny's and sleep all day, and then she'd feed me chicken burgers. It was great. Put on about 4 stone. But basically, I just went, played a little bit of golf. I was always decent at golf. I never really worked that hard. I was one of those annoying kids who was quite good at sports but didn't really work that hard, particularly at golf. And then just maybe when I hit about 17, 18, I maybe put a little bit more work into it and actually got a golf lesson because I was hitting it so cake off Stephen Hamill at Lisburn. And he sort of said to me after, he says, you strike the ball so good. Have you ever thought of turning pro? I was like, no, you mental.
I think
never
that was your
thought
kind
about
of
it in my life.
Your kind of thing. Well, that golf. This is again, golf isn't just about if somebody wants to try and become a pro. A pro doesn't mean on tour making millions of pounds. Like it helped you because you were kind of bouncing jobs
I didn't know.
things.
Like,
and
I was just. I think I was driving a van, delivering parts.
Yeah.
Not really doing too much, just floating about, and then that gave me a bit of purpose and thought, okay, well, I'll give this a go. Stevie gave me a job. Actually, before I got that job, I ended up working with the greenkeepers for 6 months, just to tie me over before that started. That was basically, me waiting for it. I turned professional at Lisburn. Stevie gave me a job, and I was there forever. I was there for a long, long time. remember you caddy for me doing the playing ability tests
that's
and all
right,
that sort
yeah.
of stuff.
That was a good one, actually.
That was a melt. 2 rounds of golf at, where was it at?
Dundalk.
Just 36 holes in one day.
Good
and
course.
you're allowed to be 12 over, was it?
12 over, yeah.
12 over. And yeah, that was a bit of a melt.
And you think automatically, you think 12 is be fine, but like in that scenario, when you realise that it's
play for your life, for your a new living that you want to create, it's hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, worked in that was really it. Worked in the pro shop for a long time, and through that, just started getting. I played a few events. I was okay. I probably, could have been better. I think whenever you went to college, that was based on the fact that because you were like coming after me sort of thing. So mum and dad kind of went, yeah, so he's quite good. Maybe we should try a bit harder with him. Phil was good, but he kind of messed it up a wee bit. We'll send Dave to college. That worked out obviously really well. But I don't think I had that seeing want to go and compete out in the States and stuff.
Yeah, I think the competition and thing.
I just enjoy it. And I've just, through working in the pro shop and getting into the coaching, that's when I realised that's what I wanted to do. Coaching was, like most people, you don't really want to stand in the pro shop hour after hour after hour.
Mm-hmm.
You do want to get out and coach, and was really then the start of something that I really enjoy doing, and I've enjoyed it so much ever since, and even more now than it did probably 5 years ago.
Exactly, yeah, and that just shows you like 2 different ways of turning professional, and there's more ways than that, but just 2 different avenues to go down. So really for anybody who's, I think, is a handicap 4 or less at the minute, for the turn pro, so it's achievable for anybody that wants a career in golf.
Ian Poulter did turned up
pro
off 4, and he's reasonably good now.
Yeah, he's not bad now. He's
I can remember actually trying to play a little bit when I first started. Did some. I mean, there wasn't loads of money to win. Don't think there really ever was, but I can remember going like staying in B&Bs with different people. Like I remember staying at B&B with Pete McClellan and Chris Jelly, and it was. You're out and you're drinking at 2 a.m. You're supposed to tee it up at like 9 the next morning, and you pay to stay in this P&B. One of you are sleeping on the floor, the other one's in the bed and top to toe, and it's like it's not the glamorous lifestyle that you thought it would be. So quickly got out of that and decided the coaching was definitely the better way.
Yeah. So well, then that kind of leads me on to the next question. Well, so if you're, if coaching is where your passion lies, what about where did the passion for coaching come from? Like what got you sort of thinking, yeah, I really like coaching?
Do you know what it is?
It's a turning point.
It's one of those, I've always enjoyed helping people, regardless of what it is. I kind of do get more pleasure out of, like, when you get presents at Christmas and stuff, I would rather give somebody the present than get it. I get a present, I feel awkward, but I really enjoy giving somebody and helping somebody. So I think if I wasn't a golf pro, I'm pretty sure I would have been like, a social worker or something, guaranteed, because I just enjoy helping people. Yeah. So helping people at a sport that most people are not that good at is really enjoyable. I like it. So I think that's really where it comes from, just wanting to help people improve and get better. And that's all levels. I mean, you get guys that come to you who are like really good, like elite, and it's very easy for them, to pick things up and what you say. And also I really enjoy teaching the young kids and the people who come who have never really held a golf club before.
Yeah,
and that's fun, the process of that, and seeing them get better from where they were a year before. You get somebody who comes to you for the first time, barely knows how to hold a club, and a year later you see them out, they're texting you and going, I just broke 100. Yeah. And most people go, that's crap, 100's horrendous. But for that person, it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah, and
that's nearly more rewarding than somebody who's playing off scratch texting you and going, shot 64 or 65 or whatever. That I nearly get more enjoyment out of that.
But that's it. You teach so many different levels, and everyone has their own what is good or what they see as good, and whenever you can help them achieve that, and you can tell it makes a huge difference to them and everything. So it's brilliant. That's good. So if I was to say to you then, after so what would your advice be to an average golfer? So we're talking just a club golfer, essentially. Yeah,
weekend warrior type person.
Yeah, if someone's working Monday to Friday. They don't get time to go out and practice, and you know what? That's probably 99% of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
whether they're elite or not, but a club golfer, like what would you sort of say to them? Right, do this, or a piece of advice for them.
I think get a coach. Get a coach that there's a few things that it's not just get any coach. I don't mean get me or Dave, wherever you are listening to this, you're bound to be a coach near you who you can actually, is relatable to you and you have fun with and you have a bit of a rapport with. You don't really want a coach who stand there not talking to you and not interested in, what you're doing outside of golf. It's really important that coach, that you trust them. You trust them to help you, to change certain things, to do certain things, and just to really, be that soundboard that you can say, right, I'm struggling with this. How can you help? Because you can't do it by yourself. It's so difficult. You get guys coming for lessons, ladies coming for lessons, and they're talking you through. You say to them, so what are your thoughts? What's going on? Tell me what the problem is. And you sit for 10 minutes and listen to them saying, well, I've seen this thing on YouTube and this guy said that on Twitter and this, that and the other. And they're scrolling through magazines and YouTube and their head is so full of garbage that they don't even know how to swing the golf club. Yeah, the golf swing itself should be a free-flowing movement. You mean when you go to throw a ball or kick a football, you don't analyse how you're going to do it before you do it. You just do it. It's instinctive, and golf swing should be that. Don't get me wrong, obviously there's mechanical things that are in there that you need to have sound fundamentals and whatnot, but realistically, get yourself a coach and learn the basics of golf, because nobody knows them. I don't know about you, but every golf lesson I give, it's like, your grip's wrong, your posture is leading you to do this, your ball position is leading your shoulders to point this direction, so you're having to compensate for it. So everyone's at the driving range trying to fix their golf swing, trying to fix this move that their mate says they don't like. But when you trace that back to the root cause, it's set up. It's because they hold the club a certain way, it's because they stand a certain way, that then their swing has to compensate for it. But people don't realise that, and YouTube isn't the answer. YouTube is good. YouTube has got so much good information, but you are literally, it's like, I remember a guy said, it's like going into a chemist. I mean, they have loads of drugs that are really good for you, but there's shit loads that are going to kill you. So it's really important in the golf swing. YouTube's like that. YouTube has got loads of good info, but you don't know what you're looking for. You don't know which one relates to you. So there's loads of things that will wreck your golf swing in YouTube, but you don't know what you're looking for.
That's the thing. And sometimes, like you're saying there about getting a coach, and I think that's, YouTube has a place. You can look at things, but as you said, it's like, doctor prescribing medicine for me, it's not going to fix you. And YouTube is really good source of information. We use it too, to be honest. I use it for posting up videos, and we'll try to use it more going forwards. You are trying to help people as best you can. You just hope that they're being directed to your content that relates to the error they have in their golf swing or the issue that they're having, because that's the hard part. Being able to, decipher what's wrong in your golf swing and then pick up the relevant information through YouTube or Instagram or whatever. There's a lot of generic stuff out there that may well do you more harm than good. So it's important that you have a basic understanding to be able to move forward. But to answer your question, get a coach. It amazes me the amount of people who don't get help. It's like the weirdest thing. Like every walk of life you go to, you have a coach. There's football coaches, there's rugby coaches, hockey coaches, personal trainers, and you're not embarrassed to go to these people. But God forbid anybody has a golf coach. That must mean like you're failing, and it's the strangest stigma attached to it. It's not so much like in the States. Everyone has a golf coach. Even in England, people are more open to it. This country, for some reason, in Northern Ireland, we are just a little bit more backward. And it's like, amount of people I teach, and they go, don't tell so-and-so in my 4-ball that I'm getting a lesson, because they'll just slabber and they'll slag me off. And that's so true. Like I've heard, I think when I was doing the PGA, there was a guy from, I can't remember what country he was from, but basically their program is that for you to step foot on a golf course, you need to have like 10 or 15 lessons from a PGA professional before you're allowed on the golf course. Imagine how rich we'd be if that was here. Oh no.
Amazing. Yes, let's get that in place.
But I think the biggest thing there too, like you're saying about having a coach that can, look after, and I think it's building a coach that you like, that you can build a relationship with, that you don't mind picking up and texting and saying, you know, this is happening, or, how's things, or, that sort of stuff. So it's building a relationship, I think, isn't it? A coach not just a coach that you just kind of turn up every once a month, and there's no rapport there. There's no sort of
back and forth, being able to trust to do, have fun with somebody. It should be fun. It shouldn't be a daunting experience. The first lesson, don't get me wrong, everyone's kicking it. You can see it in their face, and you grab the club and they're holding on to it and they're like gripping it, like it's so tight. They're so tense. You walk near them, they stop breathing. It's mental.
Yeah.
But it is a weird thing. It's hard. It's like first team nerves. But you need to get a coach who you're comfortable with, so that all settles down. So you're not nervous about going there. You're enjoying it. So bottom line, get a coach.
Yeah, they can help.
Just get a coach. Don't do it yourself. It's just not going to work.
No. I mean, Tiger's an example of that, isn't he? He sort of tried to do it for himself a bit. Always ends up coming back to
ends up a car crash, doesn't it?
Needing someone to advise him. So, okay. So then another question for you. So again, same as the one you asked me. So a young Phil, what would you give advice to him? If a young 15, 16-year-old Phil, what would you do?
Yeah, I guess that's a really good question. I think I would have, as much as I absolutely did have some of the greatest experiences and laughs working in the pro shop, I probably wouldn't have worked in a pro shop for quite so long. I'd have got my experience and I'd have gone out on my own and just taught. And I would have done that 10 years ago. I do that now, and I wish I'd have done it a very long time ago. Being your own boss is really, really good. I really enjoy it. And having that freedom and responsibility, that's all on you, rather than just sitting comfy somewhere and just letting the world glide by and you go, sorry, sure, we're in the pro shop, we better pick up your paycheck and away you go and do 10 lessons a week and you go, that's happy days, beer tokens for the weekend.
Yeah,
I definitely would have done that. I definitely would have went out on my own a little bit earlier. I say, don't get me wrong, the pro shop was hilarious. The pro shop was probably the most fun place to work. It was just probably for another podcast, but the stories from the pro shop, they were just so much fun.
Yeah, it's that kind of was sort of industry thing for us, that shop life, isn't it?
It's so funny.
Some of the stuff that happens,
especially when I first went there, because it was Andy Manson, who's at Edenmore, who was a rocket, probably still is, and Stevie Hamill, who's brilliant as a boss. Like, he was just he's brilliant. So we had the best laughs. You'd go out and you'd have a few drinks and you'd probably come into work still with a few drinks on you. It was crazy, but it was so much fun. And then the banter with the members, you can't really replace that. That's one thing I probably do miss about not being in the pro shop, is not having that crack with the members, as they come in.
Yeah, when they're coming in, a bit of fun.
And you come in, you chat about football, and usually I'm getting slagged off for supporting Newcastle.
That's true.
Yeah, so, but you do miss that banter. And some of the tricks some of the tricks and stuff you used to play on the members were brilliant fun.
It's good fun, yeah. Well, that's, yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of a bit of an intro for both of us, really. Obviously, there's more to us than that, but it's just kind of to give people a bit of an insight as to, us, and a lot of people probably listen to this know us anyway, but it's just something that we can start out. And as I say, throughout the course of this podcast and the episodes as we go on, this is episode 1, obviously. We're going to get guests on. We're going to talk more, not about us, but we're going to talk about helping your game, giving you things from all walks of golf, whether it could be, a course manager or a golf professional who's playing, a coach, all these sorts of things.
Yeah, I think that's big. I think the main aim behind this, that's who we are. I've been coaching for almost 20 years. Dave's been doing it for about 10 years after playing college golf. So, we've got 30 years of coaching experience between us. That's thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of coaching and researching the golf swing. So we should be fairly knowledgeable what we are. But I think the secret to what we try to do to be the best coaches we can is give you all that info as simply as possible. Yeah. And that's what we aim to do here. Keep things simple. I don't want to overcomplicate anything for you. When we come to, I think the big thing about this podcast is we want to get guests on. I think I want to get guests on because I want to learn stuff that I don't know.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I know you do and I do as well. I listen to podcasts, and mostly golf ones. I listen to, and the amount of stuff that I learn from my own teaching is incredible.
It's
so
amazing.
I think being able to bring something like that can kind of go through all because there is a lot of stuff out there. I mean, you can pick up information. You can go so deep into this game. But I think just keeping it simple, giving you the right information,
Yeah, and please don't ever come to a golf lesson and tell the coach that you know what you're doing. That's like when you open with that line, it's okay, I know what I'm doing. We just switch off because you don't know what you're doing. We don't actually switch off, but it is one of those things where just go with an open mind. When you do go for that golf lesson, you're there because you need help, so you clearly don't know what you're doing, and you're not lifting your head that your mate told you. That's not true either.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, I mean, guests would be the big thing. We want to get as many guests as we can. So if you are listening to this and you're in the golf industry or sports psychology or you're a physio or anything that is involved in the game of golf, we'll want to get you on here. Anybody wants to, sponsor Titleist or Callaway or anybody, we'll take anything, to be honest. So feel free to sponsor away. Also, as Dave mentioned, we will do episodes that's just us that don't have guests, which maybe more on topic. We could be talking about, a golf tournament that's just passed or something that's up in the golf world, something that's pretty relevant, and then throwing in some Q&As. You guys want to ask questions about, it can be technical, and we'll try and do our best to help you with that as much as possible.
Yeah, so if you've actually made it this far in the podcast and you've just
Fair
heard
play to
that,
you.
then yeah, fair play to you for one. But also do fire in a question on Instagram, and we'll kind of tell you how to do that now.
Yeah. So where do the guys find us, Dave?
So they'll find Golf Bros, which is the two of us on Instagram.
Brothers. And for those of you who are on here that don't actually know, do we even say how we are?
No, I don't think so.
What age are you?
I'm not actually sure. I think I'm 33.
Are you? Mum said to me the other day, it was Mark's birthday. She asked me what age he was, and I haven't a clue.
I'm not sure. I think I'm 30. Yeah, I must be 33, 34. I get confused when I go past 32.
This is really... I'm 39. I'm nearly 40.
I know that. Yeah, that's...
Which is a wee bit grim, but anyway. Yeah, so, and we are obviously, as you say, we're both brothers, and we've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah.
So, Dave, how do they get in touch with us on Instagram? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, is it all just Golf Bros UK, basically?
Well, yeah, so Instagram's Golf Bros UK, Facebook just Golf Bros. You'll find it. You'll see the logo there, and then we'll aim, as I said, throughout the course of this, we're gonna, we will be making some YouTube stuff and things down the line.
Yeah.
So
and this is on YouTube. Will be on YouTube hopefully by the time the podcast is launched. If the video that we're using right now has worked.
If it's worked,
is the light still on?
Yeah,
that could be a bit of an issue then.
Well, sure, we'll see.
We'll see if that works or not.
The other thing then, so the likes of, Phil, say for, if somebody wanted a lesson from you, where can they find you? Where can they find stuff about you?
So I will be, get me in a few places. You can get me at Laganview. They don't call it Laganview Driving Range. What do they call it?
Golf Centre.
Laganview Golf Centre, yes. Cracking driving range. Most people probably know that. So I coach there. I also coach at Banbridge Golf Range up right beside the golf course up there. Another great range. And then I do a little bit of coaching at based at Lisburn Golf Club. So that's pretty much where you get me. To be honest, easiest way to get me is through all the social media stuff, and it's Phil Leatham Golf Academy, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that sort of thing. You'll be able to find it there. There's links even to go through Facebook and Instagram. If you do want to get in touch, book a lesson, you can just book straight through the social sites there. So yeah, that's how you get me. How do we get you, Dave?
Yeah, something pretty similar. I mean, social media, Instagram, Facebook, and that's David Leatham Golf. So you'll find me on there. I'll do my lessons at Laganview Golf Centre. Again, as Phil said, good range, good mats, good balls. It's just a good facility. So there, also at the moment there, I'll be at Spa Golf Club as well, offering lessons there. So you can find that again on the social media. You'll find the booking link on there to book lessons and things like that if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah,
but
if anyone needs help, that's how you get directly to us. Obviously, if you listen to this and you just want to keep listening, thank you so much for listening to the first one. If you have, as Dave said, right, if you made it this far into the episode,
we've made it 40 minutes. That's near Phil's age.
Well, by the time I edit this, will be about 20 minutes.
I'd be 40.
You will be 40. So basically, thank you so much for listening to the first one, and apologies if it sounds a bit cake or we're rambling
Yeah,
and
it's a
we're
bit
stammering
wooden.
a bit, it will hopefully get better as we get. I can't tell you, I was breaking it at the start.
Yeah, it took us a while to get going there.
Really strange.
But it's, yeah, so it might be a bit wooden. It might be a wee bit kind of.
But there's more to come.
There's more to come, and
there will be more to come, and it will get a little bit easier when we're interviewing different guests and stuff like that. So, yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, and we'd really appreciate it if you could if you do follow us on the media channels.
Really important, this bit.
Let us know what you think of this.
So what we need them to like everything.
Yeah, like everything, share.
Literally
everything.
you need to go share, like, just do all that to try and make this as big as it possibly can, and
get questions in as well.
Yeah.
If you want, for anything that you've got in your mind, we can cover it in a podcast for you.
Because we kind of want this to grow, don't we?
Yeah,
it's kind of fun, but we really do want to make it big, so we don't have to work anymore. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, and we look forward to bringing you the next episode very soon. Yeah, so cheers, goodbye.
perfect. Cheers, guys.